Hey, what's up YouTube? My name is Justin and I'm finally starting my first YouTube video. It has taken me a really long time. I planned on making this video back in November. It's July now of 2020 and I'm finally just now starting. But anyways, this is going to be a channel about personal finance. I know there's a few personal finance channels out there, but I don't like how they don't go as in depth as, some people do. But I just find it kind of hard to look at somebody's personal finance who's already on a millionaire level and try to recreate that or have your own spin off of it. Because to be completely honest, I watched those videos, but I didn't do really anything that they did except for the basic starter budget, track your finances and everything like that. Stuff we'll be talking about on this channel. But it's not really easy to be like, hey, this guy's already making $1 million and I'm starting off with like $100 in my bank. So me personally, I'm starting this 6 months ago. So I have a couple things that I'm already doing, but I want to show you guys, step by step, how you go from where you are now to that direction of making $1 million. Like, I'm not making $1 million and I'm making like $60,000 a year, but still, it's personal finance. Everybody's different. Everybody's gonna be starting off at a different place. Some people have more money than others, but that's what we'll talk about. So a little bit more about me. I'm currently 22. Got married last year. We had our first baby last year. We're actually currently moving into a new house. So right now it's kind of plain and white on the walls and nothing's really here because I'm actually filming in my kitchen. But yeah, we're going to start being homeowners at hopefully by the end of this month. We're expected to close on the 22nd, but I've already started my journey a little bit. I should have started documenting back then too, because I want to be able to look back on my journey and be like, hey, this is what I did. These are my mistakes. This is what my daughter can do better if she wants to take the same path as me. But what's really made me look more into finances has more to do with how my dad raised me. He always told me that you got to make sure that your credit score is good. You got to make sure you always have a backup plan when it comes to stuff that you're trying to do. Like me, I'm currently trying to start 2 businesses. They're both kind of related. I'm going into real estate to be a real estate agent, but also I wanted to do it's a 3D Matterport scan of houses for virtual tours, pictures, drone shots, anything like that, to help people out more, especially during right now where there's a pandemic going on and people really don't want to be going into other people's houses. I started actually building my credit and trying to get my life in a better financial situation back when I dropped out of college. I really was trying to finish college and get a degree. I wanted to be a surgeon and all this stuff, but by the time I would have graduated and actually started my career, I would have been 35. I'd have been $500,000 in debt and not a very happy person. Like right now, I'm married, I have a kid, living my life the way I want to without having to feel the stress of going to school for over 12 years, having to pay off so much debt and not really starting my life at the point that I wanted to. I want to start off early so that way my daughter doesn't really have to go to school. She can stay home with us, be homeschooled, go hang out with her friends, because I really don't think school's all that great. I started building my credit about 2018-ish. I had bought a new car, which was a mistake. We'll talk about that in a later video. I ended up getting a whole bunch of credit cards. I have a total of 7 credit cards right now. No, I'm not planning on canceling any. I'm planning on keeping them all. But it has gotten me up to a 712 credit score. And I'm able to buy a house at 22 without having a whole bunch of money. We're putting 3.5% down, which I'm totally fine with. It's an FHA loan. But my wife also has a 723 credit score, and she started back in November of last year. So it hasn't really been that long. But I just want to show people that you don't have to wait until you're 25, 30 to start building your credit. Who cares if you're 20 and you don't have any credit? I mean, that's the point. You have to start in order to get any. The sooner you start, the better it is. But most importantly, I want to help get rid of poverty in America and throughout the world. But I have to start where I am now, which is in Georgia. There's a lot of stuff going on right now where there's more people in poverty than ever before, and it's not really something that's a certain person's fault. Like, this has just been growing for a while now, and I just want to be able to get on YouTube and make a difference and show people, hey, there's other options out there. You don't have to have thousands of dollars in credit card debt. You don't have to be living paycheck to paycheck. There's other alternatives out there for you to be able to make more money and basically have a better life. I mean, I started at the age of 21, 20, something like that. But even my wife, she started at age 23. It's still a lot better than starting at 25, 30. My wife didn't know anything about credit. My wife didn't really manage her money that much, but I was able to teach her and show her a different way, so that way now she's got thousands saved up and we have money to, you know, take off of work and leave for a little while if we want to go on vacation. It really wouldn't hurt us that bad, but other people don't have those opportunities. I want to be able to show them how they can have those opportunities. And also, one of the things that really motivated me to start this YouTube channel is my daughter. I want to be able to show her the progress I've done in my life while she's still up under the age of 1 year old, and be able to teach her through my videos the person I am when I was young and how to basically manage your money. I love finances. Like, I talk to people all about finances. Like, my best friends, I talk to them about finances. My wife, my family, people I work with. Like, I love finances. And when I see somebody else who doesn't manage their money very wisely, who are always running into money problems and having to charge credit cards because they don't have enough money, I want to be able to stop that. Like, people come into my store all the time talking about how, oh, I don't have enough money for this. Can I put it on 2 separate credit cards? I'm like, are you really wanting to do this? Like, that's more debt. Especially right now, like, money's a little scarce. A lot of people are out of work. You really want to go into money problems, but that's something else. But yeah, like, I want to show my daughter if I was able to do this from the get-go at age 18, I'd be in a lot better position than I am right now. I made the mistakes though. Like, my dad did try to teach me, and I was very rebellious as a kid, but if I was able to do this at 18, I'd be a lot further than I am now. So I want to give my daughter the opportunity and the knowledge to be able to start this at 18 the right way. Like, we are just now starting our retirement account. We've got a pretty hefty savings account for us. It might not be hefty for some of you. We are buying a house. We do got great credit scores. We are in the right track, but we still have a long way to go for what I plan for us. I do want to be a real estate investor. Like, meet Kevin and Graham Stephan. Those are one of the best people I've ever learned from. Like, I have bought their courses. I've watched them. They're great. Please go subscribe to them. They're really good. The ability to own property and rent it out to somebody else so they pay your loan and pay you on top of that is something that I really want to have. Like, there's no point in me buying a house, living in it, and then selling it, having to pay taxes on that house. And, you know, it's not really something I want. I want to be able to own multiple houses, get that rental income, have them pay off for my loan, have extra money coming to me, and then me and my wife build our own house whenever we're ready to actually settle down and retire. Which won't be anytime soon, trust me, because me and my wife, if we couldn't work, we'd go crazy. But we do definitely want to be able to enjoy life by the time our daughter is, when she becomes 5, 6, 7, I want to be able to spend more time with her rather than working. I don't like working for other people. I want to be able to be on my own schedule, on my own time. I don't like people telling me what to do with my time, and I feel like my time isn't worth any dollar amount but the results that I produce for myself. Like, being a real estate agent, that's one of the main reasons I want to be a real estate agent. I love sales, I love people, I love talking to them, and I want to make sure they make good financial decisions, because buying a house is really, really important, and it can put you into a lot of debt if you're not very careful about it. And some people, like Dave Ramsey, back then, they were doing the weird loans, and a lot of people were getting loans that shouldn't have. But we shouldn't be repeating our same mistakes from the past. We should learn from the past and implement that into our future, so that way we're on a better course than our past generation. Now, I know this first video isn't anything about finance except for me personally, but that's kind of what I wanted it to be. I want people to know me first before they get into my channel. I'm definitely a unique person. I do mess up words a lot. I'll leave those in here because I'm not editing those out. Unless it's really bad, then I'll edit it out. But I go off on tangents. I love talking about multiple things at once. I'll try to keep that under control while I'm doing these videos. But at the same time, my thoughts in my head come together a lot better than people perceive them. But I'll make sure to iron those out. I am making scripts before I post these videos. This first one, I did not go with the script. I had it out here, like my MacBook's right here, but I didn't even go along with it. Like, it's awful. But for the most part, I will be making scripts for these videos. The next video will be coming out on Friday, so I'll edit it and everything. It'll post Friday morning at about 8 o'clock in the morning, depending on when I get up. To be completely honest, I'm excited. These are going to be great videos. The first one is going to be about how to track your spending and how to budget, because that's honestly the most important thing. The foundation is more important than anything else you build, because if you have a crappy foundation, your house is going to crumble. Like, just go watch Meet Kevin's video about his house being built on quicksand. You'll find out what I'm talking about. But yeah, people don't want to budget. They don't want to track their spending. I didn't either. But when I started, I found out that I had a whole bunch more money to save up than I previously had. Like, for example, one example, because I will be talking about all this in the other video, and I really want to expand on it more and explain it in depth. But when I had tracked my spending back in, I would say probably about September, October of last year, I found out that I had like $250 that I was spending on fast food for lunches instead of actually going and making my lunches and bringing them to work, which I know some people say it's lame, but I don't really care. I'm saving $250. Well, probably 200 bucks after the 50 bucks I spend on lunches that I'm going to prepare. But anyways, like, you want to build your foundation of anything first. Like your marriage, you want to have a good solid foundation as friends before you marry somebody. You want to have a good solid foundation with your credit before you go out and try to finance a car. Like I'll explain with my video, I made a very bad decision when buying my car. I shouldn't have done it, but look, my car's paid off now. I don't have that problem anymore, but it was a good strain in my life for about a year. This channel is going to be important for me more than just the reason of making money on YouTube. To be completely honest, it doesn't really matter to me if I make money on YouTube. If I can change one person's life by making sure that they budget and they invest and they save money and they make sure that they know to track their spending, and they end up better off for it, like I was from watching Graham and Meet Kevin's videos, and there's a lot of other, like Bigger Pockets, there's multiple video channels that I watched. It's important to me to help other people. Like, I've always wanted to help other people in any way that I can. I don't care if it's helping an old lady with her groceries from the grocery store. Like, I did that too when I first started my first job at Ingles. I was helping old ladies with their groceries into their car. But I don't know, I'm just very passionate about that, and I don't understand why other people don't do the same. Like, what's the point of being here and having a community if we're not helping other people? There's really no point. We're more selfish nowadays than we've ever been, and it feels like the world's coming to a turning point. And with the virus going on and all the protests and the Black Lives Matter, it's a turning point for us that I think if we don't acknowledge it now, there's going to be more dire consequences that happen later on in the future. And I know this is supposed to be a finance channel. I know. Just check me out on Friday. I'll post another video about how you actually start budgeting and how you track your finances. Peace out. Deuce.